Hello and welcome to True Audio with Johnny Truesdale. Today we're going to talk about EQ Part 3, and this one is known as the blocker EQ. Most people call it the high pass and low pass EQ. Why do I say the blocker EQ? Because it blocks things out, kind of like in football or other sports where they use blockers to move things out of their way. The same could be said about the high pass and low pass filters, also known as the blocker. I made that up. The blocker EQ. Without further ado, here we go. All right, here we are in Pro Tools, and we're gonna take a look at the blocker EQ, also known as the high pass, low pass filter. Let me show you, I'm gonna show you a bunch of different applications. The first application I'm gonna show you is over here on this bass, and it's bypassed right now, and we're gonna listen to, let's take a listen to the bass right here, and without the EQ. As you can see, that tightens it up just a little bit. And let's hear what that sounds like with the entire mix. Here we go. So what that can do a lot of times is make the mix a little bit more punchy because it takes out some of that really low end mud. It blocks the low end mud from getting into the mix. Let's take another look here. If we were going to look, let's go back to that snare that we boosted. We boosted with this here. So if we were going to take another EQ, let's say we're going to take another EQ over here, and we're going to make it 18 dB per octave here, and we can get rid of, let's say we didn't like the amount of highs that we were getting from that. We liked the highs, but we're getting too many highs. So we can block some of the highs here by putting a high pass filter, a low pass filter, putting a low pass filter on the high part of this snare here. So let's take a listen to that snare with and without that. Let's take a look at, we'll bring the drums up by themselves and you can hear it with just the snare itself, just that snare. And I have the wrong snare. Here we go. So you can see what that does there. And let's bring in the whole entire drum set. I think it makes it a little bit tighter and you don't have as much that sparkly top end. It kind of cuts back on that a little bit. Now the same can be done. You could do the same thing with that boost that we did over here. We did the same thing with the boost on this bass over here. We could take the same exact thing and put ourselves a high pass filter on it and do the exact same thing where we're boosting the low end, but then we're pulling out some of that sub frequency that may get in the way. So let's take a listen to that real quick. And finally, let's listen to the entire mix. Once again here, we're gonna listen to the entire mix with everything in it, including all of our high pass, low pass, also known as blockers. Just so you know, I call them blockers. It is not an official term. All right, here we go, the entire mix. So there you have it, using high pass, low pass blockers to block out frequencies that may be causing problems and killing your lack of clarity in the mix. So that's all for this week. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and I will see you next week.